Hello there, I'm Laura and I'm going to be reading you 2 bedtime stories. So get nice and relaxed and comfortable, okay? While I read you the stories, I want you to feel nice and cozy and warm, okay? So I've got this lovely, soft, fluffy blanket for you to put round, okay? There we go. Just put that round you and it will keep you nice and warm and cozy. Okay. So let me show you the 2 books that I'm going to be reading from, okay? The first one is a classic fairy tale, and I used to love reading this when I was a little girl. So it's called The Princess and the Pea. So that's going to be the first story I'm going to read to you. Then I have another book here, and I know that you're going to love this. So much fun. It's called Star of the Show. Look at all the cute little animals on the cover. Okay, so just going to get my glasses. And just relax, okay? If you fall asleep while I read the stories, that's completely fine. Just means you're really relaxed. Oh, and I've got these 2 little squishy toys that you can play with if you want to while I read the stories to you. I've got this one here, squishy, 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 and this one here. Just squeeze, 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 squeeze that, okay? There you go. Okay, well, if you are sitting comfortably, I shall begin. We're going to start with the classic, The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time there was a prince, and when he grew up he wanted to marry a princess, but he wanted her to be a real princess. The prince went all over the world looking for a real princess whom he could marry. The prince met many princesses, but there was always something the matter with them. One was too tall, one was too small, one was too sad, and another was too happy. Somehow or other, not one of the princesses was just right. The prince was never quite sure if they were real princesses. At last the prince came home again. He was very sad because he did want to marry a real princess. Then one night there was a terrible, terrible storm. The lightning flashed, the thunder roared, the wind blew, and the rain poured down. In the middle of the storm there was a knock on the castle door. The old king went to open the door. There, standing outside in the pouring rain, was a lovely lady. She might have been a princess, but she was so wet that it was difficult to tell. Her hair was so wet that the water from it was running down her face. Her clothes were so wet that the water was pouring out of them. And her shoes were so wet that the water was running in at the toes and out at the heels. The king led the princess into the castle, out of the wind and rain, and there she stood in a pool of water, and all she could say was, "I'm a real princess." The prince could not believe his ears when he heard her say that. "I am a real princess." The old queen heard her say, "I am a real princess." We'll see about that, thought the old queen, but she did not say anything. While the princess was being bathed and dried and dressed in dry clothes, the queen went to see about a bedroom for her. The queen had all the bedclothes taken off the bed, and then she put a tiny, tiny little pea under the mattress. Then more mattresses were put on top until there were 20 mattresses on top of the pea. Then the queen had many feather beds piled on top of the 20 mattresses. "Now we shall find out if you are a real princess," said the queen to herself. When the princess was warmed and fed, the queen led her to the bedroom and tucked her into the bed. In the morning, the old queen went to see the princess. "How did you sleep, my dear?" she asked her. "Dreadfully," replied the princess. "I hardly slept a wink at all. What an awful night!" "What was the matter?" asked the old queen. "I do not know what was in the bed," replied the princess, "but there was something hard in it. Now I'm black and blue all over." Then the queen knew that this was a real princess, because she had felt the pea through 20 mattresses and many feather beds, and only a real princess could be as tender as that. The prince was filled with joy when the old queen told him they had indeed found a real princess. Now the queen had the pea taken out of the bed so that the poor princess could actually sleep well. A wedding was arranged between the prince and the real princess, and there was a great joy in the castle. And as for the pea, it was placed in a museum, and it may still be seen there if no one has taken it away. The end. So she was a real princess. I just love that story. And I hope you did. Okay, so we're going to read the other story now. This is the star of the show. Okay, you ready? Okay. The talented animals all dance and sing. Their exciting new show is just missing one thing. They need to decide who will star in the show. So Unicorn stands up and she says, "I know." She says, "Just look at me. I'm the perfect star. I'm magic. I'm awesome. I'm the best by far." Pug says, "I'm sorry. I think that you're wrong. I know someone else who can sing a great song." "I can," says Pug. "I'm so small and so cute. I look super sweet when I sing in my suit." Llama says, "I'm not sure that you're right. Someone else here is made for the spotlight." "La la 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 la," sings Llama in her pretty gown. "I'll be fantastic, and I won't let you down." Sloth joins in too, and as usual he's yawning. It should be me, he says. I'm never boring. Sloth says, I'd be a great star of the show. My fans will all want seats right at the front row. You're too slow, Giraffe says, and you're much too small. The star needs to be someone that's really tall. Giraffe says, I should be the top of the list. Pick me. I'm so tall that I can't be missed. No, the friends shout. That main part is all mine. They argue and they sulk, for they each want to shine. Their squabbling stops when they hear a sweet sound. Who is that, they ask, as they all look around. They really have no idea who it could be, so they follow the noise. And who do they see? Who's there? It's Goldfish. He's singing backstage in his bowl. Pug grins. I know who should play the lead role. Finally, everyone's glad to agree. There's only one animal their star can be. Goldie, says Sloth, you have such a great voice. Be our big star. You are the perfect choice. Me? Goldie says, but I'm just a small fish. Though singing on stage really is my great wish. The show is a hit and the crowd cheers, woohoo! Goldie's a huge star and his friends all are too. It wasn't just me, he says. This stage is ours together. We have a whole show of great stars. I love that story. Even the most unlikely star can shine. And they learnt that when they all worked together, they could all shine. Very talented animals. Did you enjoy those stories? Yeah? You look really relaxed, by the way, which is good. There's something so calming and soothing about having someone read a story to you. It's so relaxing and calming. You've been enjoying playing with your little squishes. Okay, just relax and try and go to sleep now, okay? Sleep, sleep, sleep. I'm going to count you down from 10 to 1 and then you'll be asleep, okay? Hopefully. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,